Oh, there it is. Breakfast has arrived, or at least part of
And their pancakes are coming. I just couldn't carry it off.
it. Okay. And can you bring a knife? Thanks.
Hey, did you, while I'm waiting down here, did you like hers, the Mets? Did you go to Mets hers? It's right outside of the where everything's at. Mets, a little town called Mets.
Oh, on France. Yes. Yes.
France,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
What was that river run down to Earth? It wasn't Rhine, was it?
No, I think it's called the Seine. Seine.
Yep, that's it.
Yep. You need to get your old man to take you on a nice long trip to places you've never been.
Oh, I've been everywhere they want to go.
Oh.
I've been to Germany, I've been to Outer Banks, I've been to a lot of places.
Okay, then you're a travel girl.
I'm a traveler.
Yep, me
My
too.
children was a service everywhere they went, I went.
Oh, that's smart girl.
Yeah, I got better shows. People that's
Yep. Yep.
But I enjoy it.
Yeah, meeting new people, seeing new things. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Have you been to Germany where they had that meat? On these, they throw the furniture out, people goes around and gets it.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Well, Germans are the best partying people there are.
Uh-huh.
They know how to party.
Yeah, they do.
Just don't get them pissed off.
Oh, no.
No.
Well, I'm going on to the car.
Okay, honey bun.
Come on. I'm tired of it. This is every day. Dry it off your face.
Mm-mm-mm. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Hey! So whenever my parents would take us out to places, my mom liked restaurants. Dad, not so much. He liked a few restaurants. Like we used to go to this clam bar in Freeport. It was right on the water. And my dad was like the football hero of the town, like in the 30s or 20s even. And so everybody knew him, right? So he loved like being the movie star, right? And he was in the Air Force, so for years he just wore his uniform, his colonel uniform, and I love that. He's a hero. And my dad's third thing he wanted to do was be a millionaire, right? Because when he went to high school, since he looked like a movie star, he was a football star. All the rich kids that went to his high school and hang out with him. So we kind of got used to that lifestyle. Mm-hmm. My mom liked to throw him back. My dad never really drank. She really get kind of buzzed. So one double Irish whiskey. Right? I'm good for the night for him. He'd sip it. So I learned to do that. And my mom would not come back. So then we'd be in a restaurant, fancy restaurant. And my mom was ready to get on the tabletop and put the lampshade on her head and dance up a storm. Do the hoochie coo. Now, my dad would go, Mama, please. And she said, stop being a pussy. Well, luckily, I was taken away by my grandma at 6 months after I electrocuted my mother. And the two before me, there were 6 kids. belonging to the household. 2 died relatively soon.
You're done.
And
You get home, you're done. It's the attitude, the problem. I don't mind you not eating. It's the way you were talking. That's the problem.
so in church, we have been doing Exodus for the last 3 Sundays. And there's one guy who teaches all the time. I mean, he's a litigant. He litigates the Bible. And, so I show up the last 20 minutes. I already know Exodus. When I hear him talking, I know exactly what he's talking about and where he's talking about, what part of Exodus. Blah, blah, blah. And when we started, in Exodus, the first 10 pages are all about women. And God goes on about, the dynamic of the family. And he's talking about, humanity, not so much the nuclear family. Now, like my mom and dad. And my mom and dad, okay. There were 6 of us. 2 of them died before I showed up. And that's why my grandma grabbed me and brought me up until I was 7, where I could fend for myself. I'm very good at fending for myself. Because I don't just jump in. I take a look at what's going on before people even know I'm there. Because I serve God's co-creation, God's love. I always know that God has all our backs. We'd be toast for that, right? Most people don't think. They think they're doing it. Oh, it's me. I'm great. Oh, I got this business. Oh, I got this job. I got these kids. They're going to do exactly what I said, right? You guys ever see the movie or watch or read the book of The Great Santini? That was my dad, but he didn't fly airplanes. He just ordered men to their death. Right? So by the time I was taking care of him, he was in his almost 80s, late 70s, about my age right now. And I would talk about that. Oh, God. Well, you were looking for General LeMay. And you sent 190,000 men to their death in faulty B-24s made by Mr. Rockefeller, Mr. J.P. Morgan, and Mr. Ford. And you knew that, but the wing spar was right on top of the body of the aircraft. Most airplanes, the wings are in the middle because they're built. 109 had to do. It had this big cannon in the middle of its propeller. The propeller was flying around, and right in the middle of it was just bang, 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 bang. So ME-109, all I had to do, get above him, come straight down, and he could be up, maybe 4,000 or 5,000 feet above him, slow down, just come straight, and boom, 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 right in that top of that wing, because that's where they put the main fuel tanks, right? Duh. And boom, 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 boom. And they'd be tracers, phosphorus. The 2 or 3 at the top spar. The wings would snap up and the gas would go all over the airplane, inside and out, and it'd turn into a ball plane, right? That aircraft itself alone took out 45,000 airmen. And it, whereas the B-17 was called the Flying Fortress, not because it had so many guns on it. It was like you couldn't bring that sucker down. So even though an airplane gets totally shot up, the thing that's most important about the airplane, not the airplane, the crew. Cost of training the crew and having them work together is quite large. So B-24, a monkey could fly that thing, right? So the guys who didn't do the best in the gunnery school, or didn't do best in the bombardier school, or didn't do the best, they sent them off to my B-24s. And the thing, the B-24, it was the first really long range bomber. Like it could do a round trip, almost 5,000 miles, right? B-17, maybe 2,500 miles. So going from England to France, not a problem. Going to England to kind of Germany, I could do it. But if anything happened, or you had to mess around, or the weather wasn't good coming back, and you had to circle the air zone, you gotta have a problem. So B-24, big gas tank. And the B-29, that sucker could fly almost 11,000 miles. Go from Tinian to Japan and back, and still get around. Now, so, God kept Moses out there in the desert because it took the Hebrew nation 4 years to get their act together because they had been in Egypt so long and so defiled by the Egyptian materialism. See, that's where we're at. See, the Egyptians themselves were the alien races have been here forever. Right? We're their little game board. And early on, that guy was talking about, Operation High Jump on the, Admiral. The guy who went to the North and South Pole early in the 20s, Admiral Byrd. He went there with aircraft carriers and like 30 ships, with enough fuel and supplies and men, like 5,000 Marines, 3,200 fighter bomber planes, and the best of the equipment at the end of World War II. So he went there, and he went down to South America first, and he went to Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, and that's where all the Nazis were. Arnold was drinking coffee there. So what was down to South Pole, Antarctica, wasn't just the Nazis. It was Hail Hydra. Stan Lee's Captain America, that's what it is. And Marvel Comics is this whole thing about how, what the Greeks and Romans called their gods were aliens. And you read the Bible, talks all about, in Genesis. And the gods came down and went into the women of man, right? And God's always talking to these other guys. Now, that's the interesting thing. How you read things. You read the holy book. I mean, that's the Pharisees. In the Hebrew nation, you had rabbis. And what the word rabbi translated in Hebrew is teacher. They had Pharisees. So these guys, you think they're like, the landlord or the banker. Well, they were of the temple, and that's why they had money changers, and that's why Jesus threw them out. It's easier for a poor man to get into heaven than it is for a rich man riding a camel to get through the eye of a needle. Jesus didn't say that because they're needles, then, but you get the picture. Homeboy that I put on earlier this morning, a little bit. I know that guy. Interesting guy. And he is, somebody gave him an anal probe. And yum, yum. Mm-hmm. Bless you. Wow. There they are. A little cherubim. Anyway, so yeah, the war in Ukraine is like, forget about it. And war in Asia between China and everybody, because that's where it's going to be. That's just going to be us. We're going to do the same thing we did here. We're going to, and I would say it's not going to be Taiwan. Taiwan's too tough. And assholes, they got jets, and they don't have any. They only have 3 places that the Chinese can come onto land. It's a big rock, right? And the Taiwanese have been preparing for this war for 70 friggin' years. So they have nuclear power, peaceful nuclear power. Well, those reactors have definitely created a tremendous amount of weapons-grade plutonium. So, and that's why you cook uranium. When you cook uranium in a reactor core, temperature is about between 2,800 degrees and 4,000, right? To make steam, you need like maybe 300 to 600 degrees. No, they're making weapons-grade material. Why we in the United States had the Price-Anderson Act, which guarantees utility companies $16, for every dime that they put into nuclear power. And if an accident happens, they have no liability. Right? So So, 3 Mile Island, that was a miracle. God intervened, right? Because without that, that sucker would have blown up worse than Chernobyl. And Chernobyl was out in the middle of nowhere, Ukraine. Yes, it increased the cancer rate by a good percentage. But hey, Mr. Global only wanted that, right? So, but if that plant had blown up, I mean, I was in New York City in my loft with my new sweetie, and a friend of mine called me up, guy I'd worked with in Los Alamos. He goes, Al, where are you now? I said, well, you know what I am? He said, get out of town. I said, get out of town? Yeah, I said, you do the Freddie Laker thing all the time. Do it now. Hey, Jamie. And so I said, okay. I said, okay, honey, we're taking a vacation. We just got back from one. I said, we're taking another one. We kind of locked up the house. I went to my little safety deposit box. Got a little something. It was a work day. And I walked into the Freddie Laker thing right there in the Pan Am building. Said, okay, you got any seats on your tonight's flight? And she goes, oh, yes. Okay. $120, 2 seats. We'll be here at 4. We'll be here for the hors d'oeuvres, right? So, we are, we go do some more chores. We pack our handbag. Show up at 4 for the hors d'oeuvres. Have a few cocktails, get on the bus. They drive us straight to Kennedy, not into the place. We go right onto the tarmac because Freddie couldn't afford a gate, which was so much better. So you had to walk up some steps to get in the airplane. Big deal. Right to there, right from Penn Station, in a bus with a cocktail in your hand, to the steps, walking up there and showing your thing to the steward there at the door. We'd sit you down. They get everyone seated, but as soon as they sat you down, they would say white or black, meaning whiskey or gin, right? And the whiskey they had was because Freddie Laker was a good Irish lad. Looking well, we've had a 3-week heat wave here in Western Europe, but still good growth. Yeah, well, only gonna get hotter. That fire in Canada has nothing to do with you. Do you see any of the satellite pictures of that? The stuff going on, the cockroaches, Did you ever, Jamie, did you ever see the movie They Live by whatever his name is? That's, so basically, every 300 years or so, the galactic whoopee-doo, basically has the human race sign their life away. Right? I mean, that's what, the Munt Road was about. I mean, no one, Carpenters, yeah, classic. And so, in 47, they made a deal when, Admiral Byrd went to Antarctica and got his ass kicked by flying saucers. Now, those flying saucers were being flown by Nazis. But the Nazis, it's not the German, Weimar. These were like Hail Hydra Nazis, right? They lighten the fires in Canada. Yeah, with space-based weapons. The same thing that happened in California when the fires were ridiculous, like 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. And they never really showed you any pictures except, like helicopter things of smoke going. And so Canada is showing even less because when I want a friend of mine from a place that will not be mentioned sent me some, that weren't confidential. You can get them on YouTube. You can get them go to NOAA. But it's satellite pictures of these fires, and they're all in a straight line, like a razor blade straight line. And they are 300 to 600 miles long, and they're just eating up the fire. When a fire, you can tell the temperature by the color of the smoke that's coming out, right? And so the bottom line about this fire is burning so hot that it's not leaving anything behind. And why that smoke got all the way to the east coast of New York and probably to Canada, to Ireland, is because it's microscopic. It's the same kind of smoke that came off the World Trade Center, because the World Trade Center was not done by an airplane with gas, no, or even, controlled demolition, no. It came down with a space-based scalar weapon, meaning a scalar weapon can molecularly change the dynamic energetics of whatever it's focused on. Paradise fires, yep. Yep, paralyzed in their cars, yep. Nasty cat, yep. The interesting about that is all the organic material, like the cars, the metals and the plastics were burned to dust, but the tires still were like brand new, and the belts and the hoses, it was like, and you didn't see that on CNN or MSNBC or even Fox, So it's so we're being played. This is another, because before 9/11 we were, oh my God, Y2K, oh, same as it ever was, Let's see, cooked alive, not able to move. This from the evidence. Yes, evidence, and which they will not. It's like 9/11, World Trade Centers. I was a fireman, right? And I worked for the BBI, which is they're not really police, but it's the Bureau of Behavioral Investigation. That's what BBI did. I don't know what they call it. They keep changing their name they used to be the Tavistock Institute, but they start to specialize in different things. BBI just did behavioral investigations. So, I got to see a lot. I got to be a forensic. That's why I'm shamanic, psychosocial, cultural, forensic, anthropologic alchemist. Right? That's on my business. That's on my diploma. Like when I had my mystery schools, I don't want to do this. I don't want to, I don't want to pick herbs and make poultices and no, I don't want to do that. Give me $300. Don't you give me a certificate saying that I'm a shaman? And I was like, yeah, I don't think so. What? How about $500? No. How about $1,000? No. Your money, it won't really deal with my spirit. Sorry, kid. If you want to learn this stuff, I will be your mentor. I don't want to know anything. I just want to, tell people what to do because I'm a shaman. Okay. I don't think that's going to work. So no matter what these cockroaches do, it's not going to work out, right? That's why they have to contract like every 600 years, 1,000 years. They have to rejigger the contract because our planet is moving through a solar system. So whatever contract they make this minute, about 6 months later, it's going to be a little different. And time and space and everything kind of changes. So they can't, just make one thing and say, okay, that's it. You're in jail for this. I mean, we are in a prison planet. This is, what's his name? Whatever his name is. The guy who had to pay all those people. I mean, the guy, he is, he's another one of those guys. I'll give you $1,000 just for a permit. The guy was prison planet thing. Pretty much anybody who makes it big in the media, basically, is an owned persona. So, all your politicians, all your whoever's in, that's why you're Sensei Bob. I got like 2,000 shows. They're all pretty good. James, you've seen a good deal of my stuff. What do you think? What would, 1 to 10, You know, 1 being worthless, 10 being the best. Where would you put me on that scale, right? And then where would you put somebody like Joe Rogan? I take your opinion, James. Anyone call you James, or does everyone call you Jamie? How many people? It's just me and Jamie, and maybe just me and AI. Jamie, are you AI? I mean, you send me pictures, but I know you can ghost those. You know, photography isn't legal evidence anymore. Do. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Jamie, come on. Let's see. You're honest. You can't trust the likes of Rogan. Yes, exactly. I mean, he did that thing called Fear Factor, please. And yeah, I can't lie for shit. But don't believe a word I say. I'll be right back. Don't get old, guys.
Y'all made anything?
I'm working on
Are you working?
Woo! Well, this one is all okay. That in our meal. You never tell Mama's that. That's I'm almost 50. I'm almost 50. Yeah, she does look good. She looks hot.
Do you want to know where my green hair comes from? The 30-year-old. Not the 7 and the 9-year-old. The 30-year-old. And then you make it that's part of the problem.
I would just be wrong. I think she just told you the problem. Well, to me, they got pretty good front. We're the same thing. I said, I think sleep with you. Me and you were saying, and you were just me all the time. As soon as I got home, first thing I did was nice. Yeah, we not me. No. Or some things I need to do and I can't do it because sometimes you're supposed to paint the sound or you're going to sleep or you're gone. No, I got ugly fingers. And so now he's trying to help with them on my hand. I sit up with her all night long. You have to do all the things. So you need to take this and you need to get your head out of your ass and help me. Have you ever seen something? I'll give you a little bit more.
I can't stay away. It don't matter how long you do. I'm ready for bed.
Well, yes, you know, I understand you want to play, but there's other things, and then you get some more hours, but just, if you can't do something, you know you're going to be tired, something you can do. I can't let him do it like this bad. And you know, sometimes I can't go to bed because people are talking, she's at my 5:30. Okay. Find out how long you have to do it. I want to sleep at 3 hours.
Yeah, that's an idea. Okay, so not even sure you want just the cost. You want well, my mom did. Just Liberty's not my people. There's more people than Liberty. No, I'm talking about men. Yeah, it's more people. No. You stay in the fishing walk around.
Where's it?
On the table. Yeah. Then why don't you just buy a couch today? Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, mommy's on.
That's one last place we have to. I wish I could put them up to the phone after the phone.
What do you mean that one?
I'm not going butter, pussy. I like it. It's mine. Driving me crazy. Neither is left.
Okay. So, Jamie, were you entertaining the crowd? It was tense. I don't think so anyway. Which was quite often. See, I was little. They didn't even notice me. Plus, my grandma took me away at 6 months. So I came back when I was 7, and they didn't notice me. And I always I was never around them. I kind of stood up back, thinking that at any moment, they took my yummy away. They basically, I still had breakfast to finish, and they took it. Anyway, and that's when you're over efficient. It's good to be a little lazy. My attitude is, let's see, how much juice do I have left? Oh, yes, I'm getting close. Okay. So, what else can I say? That's about it. Oh, more thumbs up. Some comments on the other thing. Get a hold of me at the dudeawake42@gmail. Put something in PayPal. I know you guys are poor, and I know I'm a millionaire living on $400. But still, it's one of those things I got used to. Every month I got at least $50 to $100 in that account, and I haven't seen a nickel since Thanksgiving. But that's okay. I'm not whining. I'm not begging. Please. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not being like a church. That's why I don't go to. I go to 3 different churches Bible studies. Like today, the guy was totally. It was kind of funny. He was totally off because he's talking about God telling us what to do and blah blah. Yes, we have to serve God, but we have a free will. What we have to do is be in co-creation with God. You listen to God, right? Most people, they just litigate God with the Bible. Anyway, so I always have a few of these in my pocket because the air is getting fouler and fouler. these are known as fishermen's friends. They're not candy. They are the real deal. When I was a fisherman in Ireland, well, I really wasn't a fisherman in Ireland. I went out with the fishermen on their fishing boats, but they weren't really fishing. They were getting contraband. And I was there as the diplomat. If NATO or the EU or the English or the Irish folk would show up in their little destroyers, we'd be out there. And you could tell these guys, they were German and they were French and they were Swiss and Swedish. I mean, they thought, the war was going to happen. And Ireland was the furthest place from nuclear. If you want to survive in Europe, Ireland's the west coast of Ireland, place to go. Powerful stuff. So anyway, the guy's going on, and the worse he was, the more he was leading the flock away, because he was talking about how it's important that you listen to the shepherd, and he's like being the shepherd. He's, listen to me, I know what's going on. So I kind of went up and kind of pushed him away. I said, no, this is about, and I said, here, suck on one of these, and this is while the church was going. I just kind of couldn't talk and pushed him away. I handed him one of these. I said, put it under your tongue. Right? Put it down there. And email me. You email me first, Rubis. Says, I'm a stupid moron. I can't figure out how to initiate an email. So just say, hey, here I am. Mr. Rubis, yes, the dude awake 42 at Gmail. I know you've done it before, but I can't find shit. Google. After 30 days, they put it in the cloud and said, you want to see your stuff? Give us $3. It's like mob, The internet's going down anyway. And we will all be at the whim of Elon Musk. Elon Musk is, this cup of coffee is more intelligent than Elon Musk. This styrofoam cup is more intelligent than Elon Musk. And so this summer, everything's going down. The sun, the fires, that will be the excuse that all electricity stops on planet Earth, especially in the industrial world. Third world doesn't matter. They don't have it anyway. Not gonna, like me. I got nothing. Won't faze me. I got a few photo cells, and I got everything on 12 and 24 volts. I'm good. So, but an X-flare may even burn out solar flares. Maybe. Who knows? These days, I'm picking my nose and finger painting. I used to get paid big bucks for paintings. I'll show you some paintings I did with my fingers because it was more fun, more tactile. I use latex. What can I say? But Mary Boone sold my paintings for. She got $25,000 a pop. I got a few dollars with benefits. She was a sweetie. I couldn't say no to that girl. But I was in her. So I can't. I am for the moment. But then when people realize, he's not a. He's actually a free agent. Oh, he actually works for God. Actually serves, loves co-creation, and Jesus' unconditional forgiveness. Take him off the list. Keep him on the list. We might need him later. As I always, sure, put me in a 6-star hotel. I'm your boy. Pay me, $70,000 for 11 days worth of work. I'm your guy. Come in every day. No. I'll fix that problem though. But I'll be fixing it for God rather than you. It will work out for you because if you going along with God to get along, it's a lot better than doing it for the cockroaches. Because the more you do that, the more you become a cockroach yourself. Anyway, That's one reason why I wear my getup, because if you remember that They Live movie, one of the homeless guys, right, when they go underground, they find him in a tuxedo, meaning that's, nah. I mean, even when I hung out with those guys, worked with those guys, I still look like them, and they were all in, $1,000 suits, and I look better than they did, Anyway, until next time, which might even be sooner rather than later, but you know me. Come up, and when you most need me, there I am.